you doing? It's your tea sipping, hair flipping. Good buddy. What's happening, Dave? What's happening, Paul? Paul and Dave are on the wrenches tonight. Rhonda is here. P-Funk is here. It's Saturday night on Fantasy Island. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. That's right. What's happening, everybody? I like the old school TV too. Let's pull out the old rabbit ears and dial it in for the sounds and the videos. Videos. How you doing, CC? How you doing? Jimmy, do they have brown M&Ms in this green room? Yes, we do, Jimmy. We allow all M&Ms. What's up, everybody? Hey, let's give a shout out to Jimmy, who was in the hospital last week. Great drummer, Jimmy Hunter, and we're thankful that you're out of the hospital and doing better. And man, we're glad that you are out, dude. We're glad, man. Glad that you're out of the hospital, brother. Scott, how you doing? That's good, Jimmy. I'm glad to hear it. Speedy recovery, yes. Sarasota, Florida, in the house, right on. How you doing? All good juju. That's what we should call this episode, All Good Juju. I didn't even get a chance to fill in the description for this video or change the title or of any of that. It's been a very very difficult day trying to get everything done and juggling everything. Had an amazing interview today with a Sunset Strip legend, okay? Now, he's not a household name, but man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? So imagine a dude stepping away from the Sunset Strip for 21 years and then deciding, hey, you know what? We're going to go back and we're going to start playing again. Get the old guys put together, the guys that are available and still want to do it, navigate everything. And, and to be out there playing the Sunset Strip again after taking 21 years off. I think there's a lot of us, what's happening, Freddie B? I think there's a lot of us that can relate to this story, and it was a great interview, super cool dude. It was Tony Starlin of the band, what is it? Man, my brain. Here we go. Tony Starlin of Foxy Rocks. Now, Foxy Rocks is one of those glamour punk bands that, I used to talk about in one of our recent episodes on the Sunset Strip with the Kool-Aid colored hair and the kabuki kind of like makeup and all that. These guys are back and doing it and putting out new music and releasing their original album, re-releasing it. And yeah, Paul, I'm feeling better. I'm looking better because I decided to take a razor to my face, sir. I think I did. So yeah, man, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Let's try to keep up. James Vega breaking the internet. Yes, Dan, let's give it up. James Vega is wins the Internet of the Week. Now, I thought I was going to win the Internet of the Week with the Death of Real Music video that I put out today. And that video is doing very well, but it's not like blowing up. I know everybody that sees that video loves that video, The Death of Real Music. And so much so that got more tips on that video. People leaving super chats on that video than any video I've ever released. More super chats on that video. So people really like that video, and man, I'm thankful for it. Yes, we must give it time, Grasshopper. Grasshopper. What do you, if you build it, they will come. Yes, and we'll keep building it, right? We'll keep building it and building it. Rhinestone cod pieces for sure for everyone. We will all have them. Camcorder backstage thing in UK. Yeah, some of it, there's no sound quality. Some of the footage it's all over the place, Freddie. There's like 10 or 12 different videos, and some of them have sound, some of them don't. You got to kind of. Thank you, Rhonda. I'm feeling better. I'm sounding better. I'm feeling stronger, and I'm just mentally moving forward. I'm mentally moving forward and trying to conquer life, man. And you know what? Back in the day on the road, this would be my glass of whiskey on top of my amp, right? And I'd be taking generous pulls of it between songs and playing through the thing. It would be empty by the end of the show, and there'd be a couple of beers that would be like pounding between between solos. But yeah, it does kind of look like a lava lamp, dude. I did not take any Ingve gummies. No, I have not. I'm actually not drinking. You know, I don't drink anymore. I don't party anymore. But I am fired up to be here with you tonight. Every single one of you that tunes in. Because, man, I see the incredible. Thank you, friend. Thank you. Rock on yourself, sir. I see the potential in what's going on. I was inspired by that guy's story today, thinking about, here's the thing, man. He's carrying on the torch of his band, and they're back playing the strip. They're doing the colored hair, the leather, and they look just like they would have looked, back in 1990. I mean, here's the thing. Those guys were rocking the strip kind of the same time that Boy Elroy was playing the tail end, almost moving into the grunge era. Chris, I don't feel good enough to wrestle an alligator. No, but I have lost weight with this cold. I just didn't feel like eating, man. I was eating soup, a few bites of soup for lunch, and haven't been eating a lot. So maybe that's giving me my strength back. Maybe I'm just a little bit more lighter and able to propel more energy. Unsweet iced tea, baby. Unsweet iced tea. But yeah, back in the day, that would have been straight whiskey. Yeah. Look, man. Good unsweet tea has a bite to it. I drink that. I think it's Pure Leaf unsweet, and it tastes like it's. It may not have any more caffeine than any other bottled tea, but it tastes like it does. I like my tea to have a little bite to it. So yeah, watching half the Tony interview. Very well spoken, smart guy. Yes, he is, Erickson. He is a very well spoken and smart guy. It's an incredible story, man. It's just an incredible story that those guys are putting on the same kind of show that they were doing back then. Look, a lot of us, man, I didn't even really put much effort into outfits back in the day. I didn't wear any crazy stuff. I probably, now that I think about it, I probably should have. But those guys were all about the image, the packaging, the staging, the lights. I mean, they built their own. This was the Sunset Strip thing. Was a lot of guys built their own drum risers. A lot of guys. Van Halen used to make their own smoke bombs. They take cat food cans and attach electrical wire to them filled with gunpowder and stuff like that. So, man, these guys are carrying on that tradition of they're still just rebuilt their old sign from back in the day. They took all these lights and created, so it says, Foxy Rocks, and man, it's inspiring to hear people still doing it. I know I talk about people retiring in the business. And yeah, Cafe Wa money, someone says, friend says, Roth family. Yeah, that might have been a little bit of money, but man, I don't know. Roth his dad had more money than probably his uncle. His uncle owning that club. Running a club, man, is not a whirlwind of money unless you're just ruthless. And if you've got a heart, that's the bar business is probably not the place to be. If you've got a heart and care about people, that's probably not the kind of business you want to run, right? Because my folks made bank in that business. Right on, Rhonda. I watched a band live stream from Nudies in Nashville. It was 100% horrible pop rock songs from the 2000s, no country at all. Well, Nudies. The stuff that I've watched from Nudies, it seemed like they were rock bands, mid 20s something kids playing rock stuff. I mean, it varies from band to band. Every band plays different stuff. Everybody will say, anybody that goes down to Broadway thinks they've heard every Nashville band. And they say, all Nashville bands play the same stuff and blah, 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 blah. Well, I didn't play any of the stuff that they play down on Broadway. I didn't play Broadway. So you can't say every band. And just like I was talking with Tony from Foxy Rocks, not every LA Sunset Strip band, they weren't the same. It wasn't just everybody was Poison. Every band was different. There were different bands doing different things. Yeah, the one thing that was common was almost all the guys had long hair and probably wore pants a couple sizes too tight. That was the only thing that every band had in common, and everything else besides that, sound wise, playing wise, focus of the music, songwriting, everything else was vastly different from band to band. So yeah, Aquanet. Yeah, there was. You know what? I never really messed with the Aquanet. I never really sprayed out the hair. It didn't look good. That's delicious, bro. Hair was a prerequisite. Yeah, I almost didn't get the gig because my hair wasn't long enough at the time. But they said, hey, well, but it's healthy and it'll grow. But that was a discussion. Well, his hair is too short. It's like, dude, you know, if you've got hair on your head, you can let it grow. You know, Bo, I saw something the other day. I probably can't even talk about this, but they were saying something like in Japan they all still have that because they go to those bathhouses and it would look weird if somebody had removed that region. So that's all I'm going to talk about that. And here's the thing about the live videos. People can't replay this text that you're seeing, which I think YouTube should change that because you guys are a huge part of this show. And a lot of times people won't know what we're talking about because if they can't read the comments. So I'm going to have to read, if I answer any of these questions, and I'm going to have to try to keep up with it. If you've got a good question, ask it now. Too slow. But yeah, man. Let's see. Stage presence should be important. Stage presence is amazingly important, Rhonda. On the sports shows I chat on, the replay shows the chat. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe they're using one of those third party chat like systems or something. I just know that I notice you can rewatch the premiere chat. That we're all the Breakfast Club. You can rewatch that, but I haven't been able to see where you could rewatch this chat. Here's the famous question. Traveling Charlie says, "Who was the biggest a-hole musician you ever met?" Uh, Man, I think X5 asked me that same question, and I just drew a blank, man. Um, Generally, if you're in a mid-level band and you're opening for bigger bands, you usually don't have any interaction with the headliner. So your only people you're dealing with as an opening act is the other band's stage manager, because it's essentially their stage that you're on, and maybe one or two of the headlining acts band members might be friendly with you. Now, in some cases, they could be very friendly and you could be buds and you party. I can name a couple guys that were in headlining acts, and we were like Mick and Keith, or Joe Perry and Steven Tyler, after the show. But a lot of times, those guys won't even know your name. And I've had this conversation with another buddy of mine that toured way more than I did. And he would tell me stories about how he'd be on tour with opening for some act for 6 months, and the bass player, and he's a bass player, and the bass player and the headliner doesn't even really acknowledge he exists. And man, I'm always of the thing, like I try to keep the hey dude, keep that vibe, because the dude vibe generally breaks down barriers. You don't want to, look, man, there's a lot of people who are trying to intimidate. There's people that are get intimidated, and you just want to disarm them. Disarm them and show that, hey, man, I'm not here to, especially if they go, dude, I've heard you play, man. You're gonna blow me off the stage. I said, dude, I'm just trying to get through my gig. I'm not trying to do, you want to disarm, dude, bro, dude. I'm just trying to get through the day, bro. I'm just trying to find a hot shower and a cold meal, bro. I'm trying to find out where the cooler beer is after the show, dude. You want to disarm people. So, but man, to answer the question, I can't name anybody that was like a huge a-hole. I can't really name one. Look, everybody on the road has days where they're not in a good mood, and you just know it. And you go, man, it's not in a good mood today. But for the most part, man, everybody is cool. You have to be, because it's already hard enough being out there. Then if you got to deal with somebody that's a douche weasel. Even Pineapple had his bad days, bro. Even Pineapple did, dude. All right, so here's my unsweet tea, right? And here's my unsweet tea and my sparkling water. Now, back on the road, this would be whiskey and this would be beer. And you go, well, why would you have both of those? I have them on my rack. My rack would be at eye level because I had 3 100-watt heads in it, right? And you go, well, you already got the whiskey. Why do you need the beer? Well, look, dude, you take a few swigs of beer, and then you need You need a chaser. You need a little chaser of the beer to help wash that and put a little water. Whiskey is very dry, and beer. The beer would help wash the whiskey down, and it would be like drinking water. Uh, hey, Cardona, Sea and Salt. Some of your thumbnails remind me of Hit Parader and Circuits Magazine. That is amazing. Cardona Salt and Light. Thank you. In fact, the thumbnail I just did. Now, I'm going to tell everybody here the interview I just did with Tony Starlin from Foxy Rocks. If you are a Rockstar member of the channel, you get early access to the interviews, and it could be weeks before I release this video on my channel. I don't know. I've got a great UK guitarist I'm gonna have on the channel. I'm reaching out to some other people. I had a writer reach out to me today that covers indie music, and I thought, hey, we haven't had except for Billy McCarthy, we haven't had a writer since. And it's a female writer that writes about indie music. So I thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to have more interviews, coming up. And so if you're a Rockstar member right now, you can later, after we finish this party tonight, you can go watch a full hour-length video with a Sunset Strip guy. Now, tomorrow morning, hello, Holly, how you doing? Tomorrow morning, I think we'll release the Pat McDonald, drummer for Charlie Daniels, interview. It's been up there for a few weeks, and thank you, Scott. I'm very much appreciated. I'm working hard to make it worth your while to be a member of the channel. And I think there's still like 30 unreleased videos that are only available to members. And RSD, I don't have any desire to drink right now. And so that's why this is my beer, and this unsweet tea is my whiskey. I just don't have any use for it at the moment. And everything that I'm doing would be too hard, keeping the schedule, if I was drinking. So that's why I'm not drinking these days. You know what? And maybe in a few years, maybe I decide to have a sip. But I just don't really feel the desire to do it. I don't feel the desire to feel hungover. I don't even want to think about that. But here's the thing, man, with this cold, there's my Pops. Everybody say, hey, Pops, P-Funk is here. Hey, P-Funk, say hi to Pops. Yes, the famous, I hope my dad is having a little bit of memory issues lately, but do you remember P-Funk calling you? Do you remember P-Funk calling you and lighting you up on the phone, and you were going, who the hell is this? Yes, so Mike P, you'll see his name in there. It says Mike P-Funk Strong. He is here, and he is now officially Mr. Mike P-Funk Strong on here. So right on wavelength. Yeah, I just don't have any, that's my Pops. That's my Pops in here. So yeah, man, I'm glad. Thank you, Pops, for tuning in. He is the second member of the channel. The first member of the channel is Jimmy James, and he's a Canadian guitarist. And he was the first guy to be a member, and I was like, what do I even do? Like, am I supposed to create something or whatever? So he called me back a couple days later and said he was on the way to my house to kick my... So that's the addendum. That's the addendum that P-Funk called my dad like repeatedly and left all these whacked out messages and saying it's P-Funk, it's P-Funk. And my dad called back 3 days later and said he was coming up there to kick his ass. So that's some funny stuff, dude. That is epic, classic stuff. Yeah, everybody smash the thumbs up. We're having a Saturday night fiesta, dude. We're having a good time. So K Dog is asking me, have you ever been to the Surf Ballroom where Buddy Holly played his last show? Yes, I have played the Surf Ballroom and had quite a fun time at playing that gig. That will be a memorable gig. And I remember, I think, playing with Gary Lewis and the Playboys. We played that, and normally that would be a gig where they didn't give you any beer. But I don't know if they didn't get our rider or they ended up giving us like a cooler of beer, and we had to sign autographs after the show, right? And we're sitting at a table, and I just started just cracking beers, which I really probably wasn't supposed to be doing. But man, by the time we got back to the hotel, dude, I was toast. And yeah, I remember we had the drummer that was out with us and all that. It ended up being a pretty fun night. But yeah. So yeah, I remember Surf Ballroom, dude. Surf Ballroom is an epic place, and I was glad. Ever play any shows here in Milwaukee? I have played Summerfest a few times, and I may have played Summerfest with Trick Pony and Colt Ford, if I remember correctly. But I'd have to ask one of my friends with a better memory because I've forgotten so many shows. Yeah, I could smell Milwaukee from Wisconsin Dells, dude. We went to the Dells. We stayed. We had a vacation up in the Dells, like I don't know, last year sometime. Here's the thing, Freddie. You only remember the shows where something really crazy happens. Otherwise, it just all starts to run together. I saw some footage the other day. It popped up on my YouTube feed, and I see it's Colt Ford playing "Devil Went Down to Georgia." I'm like, I wonder if I'm playing in the band then. And I click on the video, and there it is. And we're playing. I think it looked like that place in Tulsa where Sid Vicious put his headstock through the wall. What is the name of that place? I can't remember the name. It's in Tulsa, and there we are, dude. Yeah, dude, you're going to the Dells. I said the same thing to my wife when she's like, "Oh, we're going to the Dells." I go, "Dude, we're going to the Dells." But yeah, so we played that place, and I remember that place because we always had fun there. But I didn't remember the gig. I didn't remember that we used to play Devil Went Down to Georgia. And when we got to the part when the devil does his bit, instead of playing the instead of playing that part, we would go into Metallica. What's the bone? And so yeah, the Dells. The Dells is pretty cool, man. Wisconsin's not my favorite state to travel to, but we had a lot of fun up there. And you know what? There was never a shortage of beer. Yeah, it's the Dells is cool. I like it all right. It's something different. It's something different. And you know what? We stayed one time downtown Milwaukee and stayed at the casino down there. And yeah, I know Freddie. I call Freddie Milwaukee's best because he is the best of Milwaukee. Ah, delicious. So we've got 82 people in here. We got 50 likes. We want to encourage everybody to hit the subscription button. We're almost at 14K. 14K, bro. If you have not subscribed to this channel, it doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe, bro. And what is it? I saw the 61% of people that watch my channel have not hit the subscription button. Hit the subscription button. It doesn't do anything but help the channel. Boom, help it up a little bit. Forget about it. Hey, you, go over there. Go over there and hit that subscription button over there. Yeah, and while you're at it, get yourself a beer there. I remember, I think we were up somewhere on the East Coast, and I was telling the roadies, because we normally playing in the South in a country act, and they go, "Oh, dude, we're going up to, I don't know whether it was New England or somewhere." I go, "Dude, they're gonna go, get you a beer there, get you a beer right there." And sure enough, we found some old dude at the concert, and I said, hey man, can you can you say this? And he goes, "Get you a beer there." Just like that, man. Just like that. Yeah, all the lobster. Hey, but you know what? Lobster is so rich, man. Uh, I love a Boston accent. Look, man, Wave, you've got P-Funk, you got Johnny D. I mean, when is Johnny D gonna tune in to one of these things? When are we gonna have? We need to do the P-Funk Zoom interview. We need to have P-Funk and Johnny D. We probably have to put that up on Patreon or something because I don't know. Will we be able to? I don't know. Will we be able to keep the curse words to a minimum, bro? We gotta have P-Funk. So P-Funk, let's get your Zoom going. Get your Zoom downloaded on your phone, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it, bro. We got to do the P-Funk interview. Johnny D is elusive. He is. But here's the thing, man. I never understood. Okay. So I never understood why Johnny D didn't do this on YouTube. Look, when Johnny D was doing his Breakfast with Johnny D thing on Facebook, I never understood. I was like, dude, do it on YouTube. Do it on YouTube. Oh, I don't. This is lo-fi and all this. Well, man, I'm on my phone. This is a phone right now. You're seeing me through my phone, and I'm not even using the good camera on the other side. I'm using the selfie camera on the front. It's still, what is it, 4K? It looks good, right? It sounds fine. Have you played with would you have played with Mother's Finest? Oh, 110 and 150%. I would have. Mother's Finest would have been the type of band I should have played in. 110%. And I even got, I had a father in Nashville who hired me to put together a band for his daughter, and he wanted it to sound like Mother's Finest. Now, did I put together a band that sounded like Mother's Finest? No, you can't. And we didn't, you got to write the material and all that. But yeah, that would have been the perfect band for me. Now that the spring is here, we'll do the interview soon, P-Funk says. I want to sit on my sun porch. It's just been too cold. Mike, you got it, brother. You got it. When the heat turns up, then we're gonna get Michael P-Funk holding the cup and giving the truth. We're gonna give you some of that truth, some of that East Coast truth. Massive Guess Who trip as of late. Burton Cummings rules. Great singer, great songwriter. And yeah, Burton Cummings, great. How many guitars you got in there? This is a question every week, Scott. Last I counted, it was 30 or so. Probably 30. The death of real music videos seems like you put a lot of time in writing and editing. Yes, John. That was a process. And look, I could have spent way longer on that video. I could have, I wanted to do a soundtrack behind it that would be, Hendrix reverse guitars and all the sound effects, kind of like the stuff at the end of Third Stone from the Sun. All of that, like all that feedback and just, all of that kind of Hendrix type stuff. And the process of trying to score that, it was just a spoken word piece. That was a very hard, that was a hard thing to do, man. And so what I did, for one, I knew I needed additional footage rather than just me talking to the camera. And I wanted it to look like Apocalypse Now. If I could have done it with a budget, I would have gotten a bald cap, and I would have been on a creaky mattress in a dark room, and I would have come out of the mattress and, are you on the special? Are you on the special? I would have done the whole Brando thing, right? But I've got limited funds and limited set and all that, and I'm using an iPhone for a camera and all that. So I tried to get the vibe that I was going. Are you on a session? I tried to get the vibe, with the reading of the piece. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll read the piece and I'll use my dramatic pauses and all that. And I had to do that early in the morning before the family got up, right? And then I went and I have a subscription to a website called Motion Array. And they have, you get some of these, you get plugins, you get LUTs, which are things that make your video look a unique way, and you can get stock footage. So because I didn't have footage of me in fatigues and coming out of a marsh and me doing kung fu in a darkened room and all this kind of stuff that I wanted to have to supplement the talking head footage, I grabbed stock footage off a Motion Array. And then, okay, I need footage of a young kid playing guitar. So I got footage of that. And then I went and I discovered that I could have my talking head going while the footage is airing, and go, okay, this is starting to be exactly like what I wanted it to be. And, putting all those, so I went through each part and tried to find stock footage that I could use to make each point, right? And some of it was random. I wanted it to feel like a 60s art film. So at one point, there's a girl like, swooping down on a mattress, and that is just random, like life stuff, like searching in the temple, and so a lot of it is it's just the way you put it together and blending in the silhouette of the face talking in the background, and then putting, trying to score this random like thing. I have there's no tempo, there's no time. And I could have spent weeks just doing the score. but I didn't have time. I don't have time to do that. I don't have the budget to. I got to put out a video every day. So I grabbed, there was a Pink Floyd-ish sounding loop that I grabbed in Logic Pro. And I dragged that loop on there and I thought, okay, I need a Hendrix guitar tone. So I dialed up sort of a Hendrix Pink Floyd style guitar tone that would allow me to just play this emotive like thing. So I recorded a whole like emotive piece, right? But it didn't really work playing through the whole piece. It would have been too distracting. So then I just stripped it down to where while I'm doing the talking head stuff, for the most part, it's just a chord. It's just a keyboard laying down a pad. And then at the end, I put the entire playing piece, but then chopped up the video clips of me talking and blended it in with the music, and it made it very eerie. There's the whole formula. Yeah, you gotta watch that video, Holly. If you have not, The Death of Real Music. I put a lot of time into that. And man, I'm thankful that it's done what it's done. It might be one of those, it might be a slow burn. Maybe that video slowly, here's the thing, man. The one thing about YouTube's algorithm, it should be picking up that this video has got a higher retention rate. It's getting more super chats. It's getting praise out the wazoo, but it's not shooting to the moon like the Danger Nashville videos and stuff like that. So it should be. Maybe it will. Maybe it's on slow burn right now. I don't know. Friday. Here's the thing, man. This week I was sick. I wasn't able to produce as many videos this week. And then, I just had to, do what I could. I put out a couple videos, I think on Friday, added them to my member section. And God bless everyone that's, liked them and stuff like that. Here's the thing, man. Sometimes people like just heartfelt, hey, I'm sick. And hearing the real stuff. So, but man, yeah, I'm on the upswing. I'm definitely feeling much better. And I'll probably have another coughing fit in the middle of the night like I did last night. I wonder what band singer Brad liked to listen to. Here's a K-Dog with another question. Let's give a pause. So K-Dog asks, I wonder what band singer Brad liked to listen to that he's embarrassed to admit. Well, look, man, there's probably anything that for some people would think it's a joke that I listen to it. But I don't know if there's, I'm sure there's something I like the Romantics. I think the Romantics were a great power pop band. No, I wasn't a huge fan of Rick Astley. I wasn't a huge fan of ABBA. Man, I don't know if there's anybody really that I listen to a lot that you could really make fun. Are we at 14K yet? Trippy, did we hit it tonight? We're only a few hundred away. I don't know. I can't think of any embarrassing stuff. I mean, look, man, I like Carole King's album, the one with her sitting on the thing with the cat. I think that's a great. I think that's a great album. If anybody's listening, what's it called? Tapestry? Yeah, Tapestry is a great album, dude. That's a killer. That album has vibe. Mike P. Funk just said Adam Ant. I think Adam Ant is incredible. Adam Ant his music is so unique. It had his own sound and his look and everything. How How do road musicians pay taxes? Okay, here's a question. Or do they just stuff the cash in their pockets? What about those nasty 1099s? Vagrants, valet? Dude, very little of what you get on the road is cash. If you're a hired gun, you're going to get paid by check. It used to be they would mail you a check, and now it would be direct transfer, and they'd have it set up. Oh, every Thursday you'll get a direct transfer, and you would get a 1099 at the end of the year, and depending on how many deductions you marked, you get money taken out, and the only thing that you would get cash is your per diem. Now, what is per diem? Per diem is your daily money given to pay for your drink, your sundry items, a sandwich, a drink. It's supposed to be what you're going to live off all day. But the $30 just gets jammed in your pocket, right? Because everything when you're on the road is free. You're getting bus stock. You're getting all the beer. And I'm going to do a video on contract riders, on stage riders, on backstage rider. So all your drinks are going to be provided. I mean, this is if you're, an act with some status. You're going to get all of that. They're going to have to provide you with lunch. They may have to provide dinner. So that's 2 meals. That's all you need on the road. You don't want to be eating 3 meals. Well, and here's the other thing. Pizza after the show included. Bing bong. So $30. I don't need to buy beer. I don't need to buy food. What else do you need on the road? Maybe I need to get a new toothbrush, or maybe I need a pack of socks. I'm out of socks. But, you don't really need. So I would come home with that. So at the beginning of a run, if you've got a 3-week run on the road, you're going to get you get per diem every day. You don't get paid every day if you're getting paid a per show rate. So let's say let's say it takes 2.5 days to get out to LA. So there's 2.5 days where you don't get meals and stuff, everything free, because you're not getting bus stock those first. Now, the bus driver might be nice and make sure you've got some beers and a loaf of bread and maybe a thing of bologna or something like that. But, so that you would have to try to survive off of that, right? You might use your per diem on the travel days, right? And you can go through $30 very quickly on the road. But man, most of the time, I would come home on, Sunday night or Sunday afternoon or Monday, and I'd have a wad of cash in my pocket that was just the per diem, $30 a day. So let's say I was gone for 4 days. That's what, $120. So, it's when you come home, that's a night out on the town. At least it used to be. Used to be in Nashville, $120, man. You and your girlfriend can go out in the town in Nashville and have a good time. So that's kind of how that stuff works. Yeah, we have to pay taxes. I have to pay taxes. I have to pay taxes as a YouTube guy. I get a 1099 from Google. And that's how them cookies work. You got to get good at writing off your strings, your picks, your guitars, your amps, all of that stuff. And as a content creator, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's the facts, Jack. Rundgren is a genius. I agree with Dean. What else we got? We were 49 minutes in, and we'll probably go for the hour. So if you've got any questions that you definitely want to have, you might want to put them in a super, because, yeah, we've only got about 10 minutes left. And $2 happy hours and that type of thing, 20 for a night out in the 80s. Dude, 20 bucks, 20 bucks in the 80s. Forget about it, dude. A 12 pack before you go out, get a pizza for 10 bucks or 8 bucks, 8 bucks probably for a pizza at the Rainbow. I think that's what it was back in the day, 8 bucks. And a mixed drink, or a beer, a couple beers. Yeah, dude, you could get a 12 pack before you go out, get a pizza at the, who is David Lee Roth? Phil, are you kidding? Phil, that's a serious question. Do you not know who is David Lee Roth? That we've got to know. Do we really have somebody that's tuning in that doesn't know who David Lee Roth is? I'm Diamond David Lee Roth, man. Do we really have? He's some dude biking in Thailand. That's right. You are right. Yeah. So past Phil, he's the guy that played Dr. Smith on Lost in Space, dude. Okay, good, Phil, because you reminded me of the guy that came in here and called Edward Van Halen, had an Edward Van Halen poster up, and he said, "Is that Neil Young?" And yeah, that's David Lee. I like to call him David Lee Sloth, man. But yeah, Dave is a one-of-a-kind individual. Say what you will about Roth, but everybody wanted to be him. You are absolutely right, Rhonda. David Lee Goth. Yeah, you could do the Goth version. Used to grab a Mickey and a super big gulp for $9 and maybe spend 20 bucks, 86-ish. Look, dude, the other thing every probably Sunset Strip rocker used to get, if you were really broke, AM PM had these burgers, and it was 2 for $1. Now, I don't know what kind of mystery meat was in these burgers, but it was in a gas station burger, right? And they had like a little condiment station. So you could load that thing up. Maybe it had relish or something like for the hot dogs. But when you're starving, when you're broke, that relish is going on that burger. And whatever I used to do, here's another thing. So Wendy's used to have was it 2 for 99 or 99-cent cheeseburger, right? And they would have this salad bar, right? So I would get the 99-cent burger, and the friend would get the salad bar or whatever. And I'd go to the salad bar, and I would load the burger up with tomatoes and lettuce and try to get your roughage, and all that stuff. So you could have a 99-cent burger is not going to last long if you're a young male expending a lot of energy. So, yeah, you know what? I never had a problem, Dean, back in those days with the gas station burgers. When you're young, you can get away with that stuff, man. Every now and then, you might need a little Pepto-Bismol. And here, I was thinking about this the other day. I could do a whole video on things you need in your backpack on the tour bus, right? So, you would have a suitcase, under the bay where you'd keep most of your clothes and stuff like that. But everybody, if a bus is full, you would have room for a backpack, right? So here's the thing, man. Your only personal space on a tour bus is your bunk. And your bunk is like a coffin, right? Now, you're gonna need things on the bus. You might need medication. You might need eye drops. You might need, your vape. You might need ointment. You might need cough drops. You might need a change of socks and a change of underwear. You might need a change of clothes if you want to change your clothes after the gig. You're going to need your toothbrush. You're going to need toothpaste. All that stuff would go in your backpack. And your backpack would go and stay in your bunk, and you'd put it at the foot of your bunk. So when you're sleeping, and this is why you wouldn't want to pack it like this one. This one's full of like petals and stuff, right? But what you would do is you wouldn't want it too full because it would stay down at the foot of your bunk. And while you're sleeping and stuff, it's down there taking up space in your bunk, but it's not going to bother you too much down there by your feet. But that's some interesting things. The things that you would need. You're going to need a bottle of Pepto-Bismol is a smart thing to take out on the road. Taking allergy pills. You're gonna need those. Anybody ever leaving Mikey P-Funk? Lord, baby, that's nasty. Baby, why? Mikey, why you talk about that, Mikey? Mikey, that's nasty. Baby, that's nasty. Michael, why you want to talk like that? So we're getting at the tail end of this. Hey, gas station food is taking a major. I agree, dude. If you have been to you've been to the South and hit if you have hit a Buc-ee's has some good stuff. Now, not everything at Buc-ee's is amazing, but man, you get a pretty gosh darn good brisket sandwich at Buc-ee's. And man, it's way better than it used to be, gas station food. They have these, was it twice daily or whatever here, where they change the food out twice daily, so you're always getting like fresh food and stuff like that. Buc-ee's is the bomb, dude. Christian, this is unsweet tea. That's all I'm having. That's all I'm having here. I don't even have any whiskey. Last night I needed cough syrup. And if you know anything about cough syrup, it's not like it was when we were a kid. When we were a kid, cough syrup was like syrup and alcohol and, honey and stuff like that. Now it's all the cough syrup is that DMX or whatever it is, Dextam, whatever. I mean, it might work for you. I don't want that. I wanted old school cough syrup. So I didn't have any cough syrup last night. And I just pulled out some honey, some good local honey, and ate about 3 spoonfuls of that. Was able to go back to sleep. And then, then I woke up again a few hours later, had a couple more spoonfuls of honey, boom. So there's your raw honey. Yeah, raw honey is all you need, man. It is good, and man, it helped me 2 nights in a row. So I just don't those NyQuils and stuff like that. I just, for me, it doesn't work. KP is asking, have I ever played buzzed? Oh, I would never do that, sir. Sir, I would never perform in that way, sir. That is just, I can't even believe you would suggest such behavior, sir. I can't even believe you would suggest such things. K-Dog, perhaps, look, man, as you get further and further along and you're out on the road and stuff like this, and you play your first show and you don't have a sip of beer and all that, and then after your 1000th show, it's like, where's the beer? Where's the whiskey? And it gets earlier and earlier in the evening. So yeah, I think everybody. Stephen Glenn, thank you so much. That's an amazing thank you for the first super chat of the night. Man, I appreciate everybody so much. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen Glenn. Thank you. Let's see, did he put a question in there? No, just an amazing $5. Thank you so much. That helps so much. Watch some of that Van Halen footage. Ansel says, coolest band. I've played in all kinds of states. Right on, right on. Yeah, I think we've all played in different states. Look, It's never fun to play when you're too buzzed. That's not good. That's just not good. But we've all been a little tipsy. Yeah, Jimmy, it's probably not, man. A drunk drummer is not a good. That's not a good combo. I like my drummers caffeinated. I like them. I like them with the cup of coffee or the tumbler of coffee that they're drinking through the show, and they've got their tempos marked out, and they're psh, psh, keeping the rest of us lunatics from destroying the asylum. Well, man, this has been an awesome Saturday night. I am going to go spend some time with my family. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, and you can see the latest interview with Tony Starlin of Foxy Rocks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been an amazing Saturday night. And who knows, I might see you for a random live sooner than you think. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.